Hey, welcome to the series of everything you need to know about Python in simplest possible way. In the series of pattern printing, so far we have seen so many patterns. In this video, we will see how we can actually print this particular pattern. So, if you could carefully observe this pattern, in every column we have a specific alphabet. In the first column we have A, in the second column we have B, in the third column we have C. Like that, as and when the columns are increasing, the alphabets are increasing, right? So that is how this pattern is having. So let us go ahead and see how we can actually print this. So in order to print this, as we have 5 rows, I will take a variable rows and I will assign the value 5 here. So after that, what I will be doing is that as we are starting this particular pattern with the alphabet A, I will take the alphabet A here. So in order to keep track of this alphabet, what we will be doing is that we will convert this alphabet into its equivalent integer number, which is by using ASCII values. So if you don't know about how this ASCII value works, watch out my first video about alphabet pattern printing, where I have clearly explained about how this ASCII value works and how to convert alphabet into ASCII integer ASCII value and how to convert integer ASCII value to alphabet. So in this video, we will be having some information that is how we can actually print this particular only. So if you could watch that video, you will get more information. So let us go ahead and see how we can actually convert this alphabet into its equivalent integer number. So in order to do that, what we will be doing is that we have a specific method in Python which is ORD. By using this ORD, we can actually convert this particular alphabet into its equivalent ASCII integer value. So that is what we can get. So I will assign that value into a variable which is alpha. So later we will, by using this alpha, we will keep track of this all alphabets and we can able to print all these alphabets here. So later what we will be doing is that in order to generate this many number of rows here, I will use a for loop. So for I in range, so now we will be generating the range of values. And the range of values that we will be generating is that as we are having one value in one alphabet in the first row, two alphabets in the second row, three alphabets in the third row, like that we are going till the value of 5 here. So for that reason, we will start with 1 and go till the value of 5, which is nothing but rows here. So for that, I will start with 1 and go till the value of rows plus 1. So by mentioning this, we can able to go till the value of rows by the functionality of this range function. So in this, what I will be doing is that I will print the value I just to know what values we are getting. So as we have expected, we are getting the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can correlate these I values here with this particular pattern. As like in first row, we have 1, that is the value of I here. The second row, we have 2 alphabets, that is the value of 2 in I here. The third row, we have 3 alphabets, that is the value of I in the third row. Like that, we are getting the values here, that by using these values, we can able to generate these numbers, right? So these alphabets. So for that reason, as we can observe in every single row, we have this many number of alphabets here. So in order to generate those many number of alphabets in every single row, I will use for loop instead of this for loop. So for j in range, so now we will be generating the range of values. As we have discussed, by using this value of I, we can able to generate all these values, right? So for that reason, I will start with 1. So I will go till the value of I plus 1. So by the functionality of this range, I will be stopped at the value of I itself. So in this, what I will be doing is that instead of printing this particular I will print this particular alpha here. That is what we are using to keep track of this alpha, right? So I will print the alpha. So if I directly print the alpha, we will be getting the integer values. So I will show. But before that, I need to format this a little bit in order to get the exact pattern here. So for that reason, I am using an end here. And after that, as and when we complete this inner for loop, I will print a new line. So for that, I am just printing like this. So we have by default an end here. So by that end, we can able to get a new line. So here I am replacing that end with a single space. So if you don't understand why I am doing this and how I am doing this, watch out my any video about numbers pattern printing where I have explained more clearly about how to format this particular how to format this particular patterns in order to get this kind of format. So now if I execute this, we can only get the numbers, which is 65 in this case. This is the value of A here. So in order to convert this alphabet into equivalent character, what we will be doing is that we will use a specific method in Python, which is CHR. So by using this CHR, we can convert the ASCII integer value to its equivalent alphabet. So I have mentioned CHR here. If I execute this, we can only get all as alphabet A. So if you consider here, the alphabets are keeps increasing, right? So for that reason, what we will be doing is that we will be increasing this alphabet after completion of this inner for loop. So for that reason, I am mentioning alpha plus equal to 1 here. So now if I execute this, we can able to get this kind of shape, which is starting with A in the first row and second row we have B. Like this we are getting. So why we are getting like this is that we are mentioning this alpha, which is what we are used to keep track of these alphabets in the outside of this for loop. So because of that reason, this initialization happening only once. So for that reason, we are getting this. So in order to get this kind of a shape, what we need to do is that in every single time in this outer for loop, we need to initialize the variable A here. So initialize the value of ORD of A in this for loop. So for that reason, I am taking this particular alpha here and I am mentioning that inside of this for loop. So now if I execute this, we can able to get alpha as single A because we are increasing this alpha in the outside of this inner for loop. So now what I will be doing is that I am taking this alpha here and I will be mentioning in the inner for loop itself because by mentioning this we can able to increase the alpha in this for loop itself so that we can able to get the exact pattern. So now if I execute this, we can able to get the exact pattern, that is what we are expecting above. So now I hope you can able to understand this logic to generate this pattern. So if you got any confusion, I will quickly explain one more time so that you can able to understand. So by using this row, we are keep track this particular rows here. So after that, in order to generate this many number of rows, we are using this outer for loop to generate these rows. So after that, we are initializing this alpha inside of this for loop in order to get this particular alpha which is starting with the A in every single row. So here in every single row we are starting with the A, right? So for that reason only we are initializing this alpha inside of this for loop. So after that, in order to generate this many number of columns in every single row, we are using another for loop which is starting with 1 and going till the value of I. So after that we are printing particular alpha is the previously it was having in terms of numbers. We are using this chr method to convert that number into equivalent alphabet. So at last we are increasing this alpha value to increase the alphabetic character. So I hope now you can able to understand this logic. So now what we will be doing is that we will dynamically take the input of these rows and print the pattern accordingly. So for that reason I am mentioning int, I'm mentioning input, I'm asking user to enter rows here. So now if I execute this, it was asking me to enter rows. Let's say if I give the value 3 here, if I give the value 3 here, if I give the value 3 here, it was giving the exact pattern that what we have expected here. We are getting A, B, A, B, C. So now I will give one more value. Let's say I will give the value 8 here. So we can able to get the pattern in the first row. The first column we have A, the second column we have B. Like that, we are going till the value of H here, which is the ninth alphabet, right? So which is the eighth alphabet in this case. So now I hope you can able to understand this logic to generate this pattern. So if you found any difficulty while understanding this logic, I sincerely suggest you to watch the video once again carefully so that you can understand it clearly. So if you want to learn more about this kind of a pattern printings, watch out my numbers pattern printing also, so that you can able to learn more about how different types of pattern printing are there and how we can able to generate by using for loops. So in the next video we will see how we can actually print this particular pattern. So in this pattern is similar to this pattern, but the difference is that in this pattern that what we have seen in this video is starting with this particular a completely to the left side. In this, we are having this triangle shape, which is completely starting at the middle. So now in the next video, we will see this pattern. So if you found this video interesting, hit the like button. So thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.